It is at the very core of what it means to be American.
I always tell my kids, you know, you live in a democracy, it's your duty to vote.
We have the freedom to choose.
It's up to us to make that change if we want the change.
Our mayors and school boards.
What changes are you going to make?
Let's move forward.
And judges on benches, both local and statewide.
It can have an enormous impact on people's lives, their freedoms.
It is election night in Pennsylvania.
And ABC27 is your local election headquarters.
Good evening, I'm Alicia Richards.
I'm Valerie Pritchett. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's start in Harrisburg with ABC27 is your local election headquarters.
All right, let's start with Harrisburg Mayor. Let's take a look at the numbers here. Mayor Williams is the incumbent. She has won. She beat her challenger, Dan Miller, very comfortably tonight.
And our Harry Murphy leads off our team coverage. Harry.
Alicia and Valerie, it was a long, contentious race that is now over. Mayor Williams being re-elected the mayor of Harrisburg. We caught up with the mayor as well as her opponent, City Treasurer Dan Miller. Miller says he has not yet spoken to the mayor and is disappointed at the results, but has no hard feelings for his opponent and conceded tonight. Mayor Williams, celebrating her victory, believes the voters made the right choice.
I mean, I'm disappointed, and I'm disappointed for the city, but you know, it was a great experience for me. But I wish her well. I mean, you know, Wanda and I have known each other for 20 years. We're friends. So I know she's unhappy the fact that I ran against her. But, you know, I have no animosity towards Wanda.
I'm excited. I'm happy. Oh, the people spoke. They made the right decision.
Now, Williams already has plans in mind for her next term, including lighting improvements and other improvements to the city infrastructure, including cameras throughout the city. Alicia.
Thank you, Harry. We know Lancaster would have a new mayor. Incumbent Denise Roshi did not seek a third term in office. Democrat Jamie Arroyo has declared victory in this race. He has a commanding lead over the Green Party candidate, Tony Dastra, and independent Woody Chandler. No Republican ran for this seat. Arroyo is a member of Lancaster City Council and grew up in the Red Rose City. He will be the first mayor of Puerto Rican descent in a city with a substantial and growing Hispanic population.
Gettysburg will have a new mayor. Incumbent Rita Freeling lost the Democratic primary tonight to Chad Allen Carr. She got enough write-in votes to get the Republican nomination, but tonight it appears Freeling did not get enough votes in the general election to keep her seat. Freeling is a native of the borough and was the first African-American mayor. Chad Allen Carr will now move up from his seat on borough council to the mayor's office. In Cumberland County, sitting Carlisle Mayor Sean Schultz appears likely to keep his seat for a second term. He's been facing Republican Don Smith, a longtime Carlisle resident. You can see how lopsided that is. That one is over.
Pennsylvania's 3 Supreme Court justices are poised to retain their seats.
These kinds of races are usually a very sleepy affair, but it got unusually lively this year. Millions of dollars were spent on ads. President Trump weighed in at the last minute. Sarah Wilson joins us with this tonight. Sarah.
Alicia, Valerie, good evening. Voters answered a simple yes or no question. Should Justices Christine Donahue, Kevin Dougherty, and David Wecht retain their seats for up to 10 years? The answers were all yes. For Donahue, you can see 61% of Pennsylvanians voted yes, 39% voted no. For Dougherty, those numbers are the same, 61% yes, 39% no. And for Wecht, we'll see that in a moment, 60% yes and 4% no. Election experts tell me that typically if one is retained, they are all retained. And results, Alicia, Valerie, as you mentioned, are still coming in for multiple races. The Secretary of the Commonwealth says it may take some time to get them, but he is applauding Pennsylvania for what he calls another safe and secure election. Of course, there were some issues, one of them being in Dauphin County. Al Schmidt tells me there was a bomb threat at Paxtonia Elementary. That school went into lockdown and that disrupted voting, but only for about 20 minutes, and police deemed that threat not credible. It was a teacher in service day, so no students were in the building.
And approximately 20 voters were turned away during that time, and then the polling place was reopened. It's also understanding from the election director there that the threat was not in any way specific to this election, although the threat did affect voting for a short period of time.
There was also an issue in Chester County. Polls ended up staying open until 10 p.m. instead of 8. That's because of an issue that affected independent and third-party voters whose names were not listed on books at polling locations throughout the county. Chester ultimately began providing provisional ballots with the help of nearby counties. Now, notably, the secretary says the threat in Dauphin County was the only one that had any effect on voting, even a minor one in the entire Commonwealth today. Valerie?
Thank you, Sarah. 4 candidates, 2 from each party, are vying for a pair of seats on the Dauphin County Court of Common Pleas. Latasha Williams and Katie Kennedy McShane are the 2 Democrats in this race, along with Republicans Jim Zugay and sitting District Attorney Fran Chardo. Still coming in from across Dauphin County, the 2 Democrats, as you can see, are in the lead right now.
Voters in Cumberland County elected 1 judge to the Court of Common Pleas. Magisterial District Judge Kathy Silcox, a Republican, has lost to Democrat Sasha Sakavage, a local attorney. This race, as you see there, was not as lopsided as others.
And lots of school board races and 1 big school board ballot question we're following tonight.
Seth Kaplan's been following it closely. He's here now with what we know. Hey, Seth.
Hey, Valerie and Alicia. We knew these races would be interesting, and they sure have not disappointed. Let's start with the West Shore School District, where Conservative Board President Kelly Brent has been part of a majority that fired the former solicitor and wants to pass new rules restricting library books, governing who can use what bathroom at school. This is the only contested race in the district. And at this hour, I'm going to show you the results. And this is now with all precincts reported. You see Kelly Brent has lost to Terry Mickle, the Democratic challenger. There's significance here. That means that what you would call the Democrats and the establishment Republican slate that has generally opposed some of those changes lately would now be back in the majority, a 5-4 majority. There is another open seat, but even if that seat is filled by a conservative, this would swing control in the West Shore School District back in favor of the establishment candidates, you might call them. I'm not saying Democrats, because there are 2 Republicans who have been voting with those Democrats. I want to go now to Cumberland Valley School District. This is another district where cultural races have been a part of not only the local conversation, but the national one too. You recall last year, Malik Pancholi, the actor, was due to give a speech, an anti-bullying speech. The board at the time initially canceled that speech. Pancholi is gay. Now the board eventually relented and the speech went on, but drew all kinds of attention from outside the district, attention that some people called embarrassing. In the races there tonight, Democrats, now with all precincts reporting, that just went to 100%. Democrats in the Hampton Township race, or 2 of the 3 here end up winning. So you get Ryan, who ran as a Democrat and Republican. They win. Celino Ling, the Republican, will not win. In the other seat, though, there's 1 more seat, so a total of 3 seats. You see the Republican, Kathy George, in a very deep red district, manages to win against Emily Rosenkrantz, giving Democrats 2 of 3 seats. And that essentially gives control to what you would call the Democrats and sort of establishment Republicans there too in that district, similar to what has happened in the West Shore School District. I want to take you now to Susquehanna Township School District, where the big thing on the ballot in terms of lots of attention that we've covered, or Mallory Metzler had a great story about it yesterday, the tax referendum there. You saw those signs, the school district encouraging people to vote yes. There are crowded classrooms, but on the other hand, opposition, people saying their taxes are high enough, people questioning the campaign. Take a look at what's going on there right now. This is one race where, as of now, only 3 of that has just gone to 3 of 9 in-person precincts are reporting. And you see that is actually failing at this hour. Now keep in mind, there are a lot of mail-in votes these days, so something like half the votes are in right now. So the yeses for that to go ahead and pass would have to really come in strong in those last several precincts, Alicia, that are yet to report in Susquehanna Township. Lots of interesting races involving our schools.
Seth Kaplan, thank you for watching all those races, highly watched races. All right, Lebanon will not have a new mayor. Incumbent Republican Sherry Capello won. She came out on top, nearly 2,000 votes there. That's 100% of the precincts reporting, and that one is over. This will be Capello's 5th term as mayor of Lebanon.
And it looks like Lebanon County will be keeping its district attorney. Republican incumbent Pierre Hess-Graf has more than 21,000 votes compared to Democratic challenger Michael Light's 15,000. Votes are still being counted. For the latest election results, just go to abc27.com or scan the flow code on your screen.
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC27, and we're excited to announce the new ABC27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home, and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the home page, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC27. Move over to the apps, and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.